Welcome to Motivational Humanity. You are not alone. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. The house is quiet. Everyone else is sleeping. But you are wide awake, lying in the dark, completely exhausted. And yet your mind is running like it's racing to meet a deadline that doesn't exist. You're not worried about anything in particular. You're worried about everything. That thing you said at dinner 3 weeks ago. Whether your daughter sounded a little distant on the phone yesterday, whether you handled that situation at work the right way, whether you've been enough for your family, for the people who depend on you, for everyone you love. And the cruelest part, you know you're doing it. You can hear yourself doing it, and still, you cannot stop. If that is you, if you have spent more nights than you can count staring at the ceiling while your heart quietly carries the weight of 1,000 unfinished thoughts, then I want you to know something before we go any further. You are not broken. You are not too much. And you are absolutely not alone. What I'm going to share with you today is not a lecture. It's an explanation, a gentle, honest look at what is actually happening inside a mind like yours and why the most feeling, most compassionate, most quietly brilliant women are so often the ones who suffer the most in the silence of 2 a.m. Stay with me all the way to the end, because what I'm about to share in the second half of this video changed how I understand my own mind, and it may change how you understand yours too. Let's start by giving this thing its real name. Because for too long, women like you have been handed the wrong label. People say things like, you're too sensitive, or you worry too much, or the one that stings the most, you're overthinking it. Just let it go. As if you haven't been trying to let it go for years. In psychology, what you're experiencing has a name far more precise than overthinking. It's called maladaptive rumination. And the word maladaptive simply means that a thought pattern, which was once useful for you, has begun working against you instead of for you. This is not about weakness. It is not about being neurotic or fragile or difficult. Research from Yale University and the University of Michigan has found consistently and clearly that the women and men who experience the deepest rumination are also the ones with the highest capacity for emotional nuance. For reading people, sensing tension in a room before a word is spoken, noticing what isn't being said. Your nervous system is not broken. It's extraordinarily sensitive, like a finely tuned instrument, one that picks up frequencies others don't even know exist. But here's the thing about a sensitive instrument. It can pick up so much signal that it becomes impossible to find the silence. And a mind without silence is a mind that is always, always working. Even at 2 a.m. when the rest of the world has gone still. That is the exhaustion so many of you live with. Not just tiredness, but the deep, bone-level fatigue that comes from a mind that never truly rests. Let me walk you gently through what's actually happening inside your mind when you get caught in one of these spirals, because understanding this is the first step toward real relief. There is a part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. Think of it as the wise, calm, steady part of you, the part that can reason, reflect, and say, okay, this is hard, but I can handle it. And there's another part, the amygdala, which is your brain's alarm system. It fires when it senses danger, real or imagined. In a rested, regulated nervous system, the prefrontal cortex can calm that alarm. It can say, thank you for the warning, but we're safe. But when you are exhausted, when you have been giving and caring and managing and holding everything together for everyone else for years, that wise, calm center gets worn down. It loses its ability to soothe the alarm. And so the alarm just keeps ringing. And underneath all of this runs something called the default mode network, a background system in your brain that activates when you're not focused on any one task. This is the system that replays conversations, that rehearses things you wish you'd said, that writes entire scripts for arguments that may never happen. Your brain at 2 a.m. is not being dramatic. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's just doing it without an off switch. And here's what makes this even harder to escape. Every time your brain runs through one of these scenarios, every time it analyzes, rehearses, replays, it actually releases tiny amounts of dopamine, the same chemical that makes you feel good. Your brain is rewarding itself simply for the act of thinking, regardless of whether that thinking solves anything at all. This is why simply telling yourself to stop never works. You are not fighting a bad habit. You are trying to override a chemical system, and no amount of willpower can do that alone. But understanding it, that changes everything. Because once you know why your mind does what it does, it is no longer your enemy. Now, I want to talk about something that most conversations about overthinking completely skip over, and I think it's the most important part. This pattern, this constant scanning, anticipating, analyzing, it did not come from nowhere. For so many women, it was learned. It was earned. It was a survival skill that a little girl developed a long, long time ago. Take a quiet moment and think back. Did you grow up in a home where things felt unpredictable? Where the moods of the adults around you could shift without warning? Where love sometimes felt conditional on getting things right, on being good, being quiet, being helpful, not making waves? When a child grows up in that kind of environment, her developing brain makes a very logical decision. It decides, if I can just anticipate everything, if I can read the room, predict the reaction, prepare for every possible outcome, then maybe I can stay safe. Maybe I can keep the peace. Maybe I can protect myself and the people I love. That little girl was not anxious. She was intelligent. She was reading her world with remarkable precision. She was doing what brilliant, sensitive children do. She was adapting. But here is the heartbreaking part. That little girl grew up. The environment changed. The danger passed. And yet the brain never got the memo. The nervous system is still scanning, still on guard, still watching for the footsteps in the hallway, still bracing for the shift in mood, still preparing for the disapproving look. Your overthinking is not a character flaw. It is a survival strategy that simply never got updated. Your brain does not hate you. It is protecting you, fiercely, relentlessly, even when you don't need protecting anymore. And understanding that, truly understanding it, is where healing begins. Now, before we talk about what to do, I want to make one very important distinction. Because not all the thinking your mind does is harmful, and it matters that we know the difference. Psychology identifies two types of rumination, and most of us, without realizing it, move back and forth between them constantly. The first is called reflective rumination. This is the thinking that actually serves you. It's when your mind turns gently inward, not to punish, but to understand. After a difficult conversation, you might find yourself asking, why did that hurt so much? What does my reaction tell me about what I need? How could I show up differently next time? This kind of thinking, when it's balanced, is one of your greatest gifts. It is the source of your empathy, your emotional intelligence, your ability to truly see people in ways that most others cannot. This is the thinking that grows you. But then there is the second kind, brooding rumination. And this is the one that quietly steals your sleep, your confidence, and your peace. Brooding is not reflection. It does not move toward understanding. It circles. It replays. It whispers. You should have said something different. You probably offended her. You always do this. What is wrong with you? It doesn't ask questions to learn. It asks questions to punish. And the most heartbreaking thing, it feels like something productive is happening. Your brain is busy. It's working. In cognitive psychology, this is called the illusion of mental progress. The feeling that all this thinking must be getting you somewhere, when in truth, you are simply running in place, burning through your precious energy while the hours of the night slip away. And here is the subtlest trap of all, the one that catches even the most self-aware women. Reflective thinking can slide into brooding so gently, so quietly, that you don't feel yourself cross the line. One moment, you are processing something meaningful, and then, without warning, you are drowning in it. That is not a failure of self-control. That is just how a sensitive mind works, and knowing that it can happen is the first protection against it. So, we have named what is happening. We have honored where it came from. Now let's talk about what you can actually do, not to silence your mind, because that is not the goal, but to change your relationship with it. These two practices come from acceptance and commitment therapy and from somatic experiencing, two of the most compassionate, research-supported approaches in modern psychology. The first practice is called cognitive diffusion, and I want to explain it, not with clinical language, but with a picture you might recognize. Imagine your most anxious thoughts as a pair of glasses pressed so tightly against your face that the lenses have become your whole world. Everything you see is filtered through them, the tint they cast. I'm not enough. I said the wrong thing. I've let everyone down. Feels like reality, not interpretation. Cognitive diffusion is the act of slowly, gently taking those glasses off, holding them in your hands, looking at them with curiosity rather than fear, and realizing this is a thought, just a thought, not a verdict, not a truth, a thought. Here's how you practice it. The next time a painful thought hooks you, I'm a burden. I failed as a mother. I'll never be enough. Instead of arguing with it or trying to push it away, simply change one small thing about how you speak it. Instead of, I am a failure, try, I am having the thought that I am a failure. Feel the difference? That one shift. Those 6 quiet words creates a little space between you and the thought. It moves you from being inside the storm to standing at the window, watching the rain. The storm is still real, but you are no longer being swept away by it. This is not pretending. This is not positive thinking. This is your nervous system learning, slowly, over time, that a thought is just information, not a life sentence, not the truth of who you are. The second practice is one that your thinking mind cannot achieve alone because it requires speaking a different language, the language of the body. When you are deep in a spiral, your nervous system is running old software. Software written in a time when the world felt genuinely dangerous. You cannot think your way out of that state because the part of your brain driving it is not listening to words. It is listening to the body. So when you feel the spiral beginning, when your heart quickens and the thoughts start to blur together and the weight settles into your chest, try this. Ground yourself. Right now, right here. Look around the room and name 5 things you can see. Really see them. Notice the color, the texture, the way the light falls on them. Then find 4 things you can touch. The warmth of your own hand, the softness of the blanket, the cool of a glass of water. Listen for 3 sounds. Notice 2 things you can smell, and rest for 1 moment on 1 thing you can taste. This is not a distraction technique. This is neurological rescue. Your brain's default mode network, the part responsible for all that mental chatter, cannot do 2 things at once. When you flood it with genuine, present moment sensory experience, it has to pause the imaginary conversations it has been rehearsing, just for a moment. But sometimes a moment is enough. You are not fighting your mind. You are gently, lovingly guiding it back, out of the story it is telling, and into the life that is actually here, right now, in this room, in this body, in this breath. You are sending your whole nervous system a message it may not have received in a very long time. It is safe now. You can rest. I will take care of us from here. I want to leave you with something I need you to hear. The mind that keeps you awake at night, the one that replays and anticipates and worries and wonders. That mind is not your enemy. It has never been your enemy. It is the mind of a woman who has felt deeply her whole life, who has cared about people in ways they may not have always deserved, who has carried not just her own grief, but the grief of the people she loves, who has shown up again and again, even when she was running on empty. That mind is extraordinary. It just needs you, the grown, capable, wise woman you are right now, to gently remind it that the hardest days are behind you, that it no longer has to scan for danger at every turn, that you have survived everything life has sent your way, and you are still here, still standing, still worthy of rest. You did not choose the experiences that shaped you. You did not choose the fears that were written into your nervous system before you were old enough to understand what was happening. But you do have a choice, today, right now, about how you speak to yourself in the dark. And sometimes, simply understanding yourself with this kind of compassion is already the most powerful beginning. Where do you find yourself most often? Moving through thoughtful reflection or getting pulled into that heavy spiral of brooding? I'd genuinely love to know. Share your story in the comments below. This community of women holds space for one another in ways I find truly remarkable. And your words may be exactly what someone else needed to read today. If this video gave you even the smallest sense of being understood, of being seen, please share it with another woman in your life who is also quietly fighting her own battles at 2 a.m. Your act of sharing might be the gentlest gift someone receives today. I'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourself. You deserve that more than you know.